Overflow with bubbles, pretty bubbles everywhere.
Thanks for joining us for our 25th episode of We Burn, We Rise. Today I'm joined by Hypers as well as Gilded from the Fate team. He's going to be our special guest today, and we're happy to have you all here today to give you updates from the Phoenix initiative before handing off the baton to Gilded to talk about the stuff going on in the Fate ecosystem. We're then going to open up the chat for a Q&A. Keep in mind that the Q&A is recorded, so we appreciate the community's adherence to keeping the discussion profanity-free. I'm going to start the meeting by handing the baton over to Hypers to go over the winners of the most recent contest.
So hello, welcome. And the community has chosen. We have the top 5, actually. So it was supposed to be 3, but I decided since it was very close between a couple, we'll do consolation prizes for 4th and 5th. But first place goes to, I just posted it in the chat, The Bent. His Phoenix acrylic lamp ends up being first place. Second and third place are tied with the Phoenix Pokemon choices. So you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Phoenix as your starter Pokemon. That was pretty cool by Nurul. And the Phoenix Lamp by Dodie. That one was also very nice. All these were really cool. Great art submissions as well. And then consolation prizes will go to the Phoenix Cardboard Shrine, which was amazing. I'm surprised that one didn't win. I was impressed by that one. So constellation of Phoenix, I'll do, I guess I tied 3 of them. So let's do the Cardboard Shrine, I'll ping everybody, the Phoenix Moon Monster and the Phoenix's Big Future. I'll ping everyone in chat to get me your wallet addresses. First place gets the 250 Phoenix, big price. Second and third will get 100 each, and then consolation will be 25 each. So once I ping you, please DM me. I don't DM you for funds. You're going to get funds from me. So that is the conclusion of our Phoenix meme and our contest. Congrats to all the winners, and thank you for all the submissions. They were all great. Nice community effort. Look forward to
drop me your
bounty.
address, Hyperion. Drop me your address. And
Did I win a meme? Oh, he's going to double it. Okay, do you see this? Rob is a gambler. Rob is gambling his money away.
I really liked a lot of these. I was really surprised by just the level that everybody in the community had. That was really cool.
Yeah, for sure. It was very impressive. Thank you for participating. And again, we'll have a bounty for a dev bounty again because we like to see projects build out. And here's a way to incentivize people to come on over to our blockchain. So look forward to that soon. That should be coming up soon.
Now, I don't think we have that much on our side today. Gilded, if you're there, you're welcome to share the awesome news that we talked about.
Are we talking about the NFT stuff that you want to discuss?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have. Here, let me just get my camera going here.
So for those that don't remember, Gilded is actually 3Pay. There we go.
Yeah.
Great ecosystem.
This is the new version of 3Pay that we're working on, and it's going to come with NFT support. I'm not going to show any of the actual functionality yet, but what we're going to do is we're going to connect it to the dashboard. So when you go into your, hang on a second here, when you go into your dashboard, we have these widgets that are tied to each individual token or digital asset. So if it's an NFT, then your NFTs will also list here as well and visualize. If there's any rewards that are associated with that NFT, you'll be able to interact with the contract in that way as well.
That's so cool. It looks really good.
And you have a price tracker too at the top of it. This is like the landing page.
This is your dashboard. This is where you track your token balances in the ecosystem and in your payment currencies. It also tracks your referrals. So if you have, it'll track the amount of invites you sent out, the amount that have been accepted, the amount of actually signed up and paid for it, and the amount that you've earned.
That's really cool. Sorry. Now, I've seen this before because I was on the meeting over there, but I was at work at the time, so I didn't really get to look at it. That's super cool.
Right. So it's we've got a lot of interesting things coming with the way that it works as well. And as far as like the currency switch and the chain switch is going to be a lot easier as well. There's a kind of a loose example of what the NFT stuff might look like. All right. I'm going to keep that under lids for now, though.
Cool.
For you guys specifically, though, where it might interest Phoenix blockchain is the switch. Because now, I don't know if you've seen how it works before, but I can pull it up. Let me just connect here.
So is that simulating your phone on the side there? Or is that just a widget?
Actually, no, that's I've got a little phone graphic overlaid on top of a browser, so that I can use 3Pay, and it looks like you were using it on the phone.
Oh, I gotcha.
I heard rumors of an NFT marketplace. I don't know if that's meant to be.
We were planning on allowing people to sell all kinds of different things, including NFTs. And my login's not working for some reason right now. I can bring up the switch anyways, though, so you can see the difference in how the switch works. You have a balance of your tokens in the switch itself. The chains themselves are actually labeled so that people can read and understand what they are. So people will have a much easier time finding out what they're connecting to. Just a little more streamlined. But as far as the NFTs in the marketplace, so what we're going to do is there's going to be a couple different ways that you're going to be able to sell NFTs. Obviously, you'll be able to sell them in some sort of collective hub, like a marketplace or a store. But you'll also be able to sell them from your own website as well using our embed codes. So you'll be able to embed your widget onto your website and sell your NFTs. So much the same way that you see on that dashboard widget that we saw. You can imagine that widget being embeddable, so that somebody could embed it on their own personal website and sell their NFTs directly that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense to me. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's pretty cool. So, is it going to be an add-on that you have to install as an extension, or is it just going to be part of what you would code your website to be?
I mean, if you've ever embedded a YouTube video into your website, it's as simple as that. You literally just copy paste a couple lines of code into your website, and boom, you've turned your website into a DApp.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
That's so cool.
And so you're planning on doing this so that it's allowed. Not only is it going to function off of the marketplace as well, or is it you're then kind of allowing the user to create their own quote unquote marketplace?
I'll let them decide how they want to list it, right? So if they want to embed it on their website and just try to sell it that way, then they can. If they want to sell it on their website and list it in the marketplace, then they can do that also, or they could just sell it in the marketplace.
It's pretty neat, yeah. Wow, and that could also scale with top secret. That could also scale with their user and any kind of tipping, and that's already happening through 3Pay.
Right.
Interesting.
Because the payments can be embedded as well. So you can embed a payment link into your website, as well as embed your NFT widgets. So you'll be able to buy and sell things either on your website or in the store. The only caveat is that if you want to sell stuff in our store, then you have to be a verified vendor, right? And the products that you list in our store have to fall within the guidelines of our store. So because we're not going to allow gun sales or drugs or things of that nature. All the things that got Silk Road in trouble, we have to avoid.
Oh yeah. But what if something is legal per se in their state? That's probably still.
Well, I think it's for now. Like you might be talking about in the case of firearms, right? Because that is, it's legal to purchase a firearm. Okay. There's lots of ways that you can buy firearms right now. I just don't think that it's something that we're going to allow in our store. And I don't. That's not to say that there's anything any judgment on that. It's just we really want to minimize our chances of people doing illicit activities on the store. And selling illegal firearms is something that we can't play around with. So I'd rather be safer than sorry, if that makes sense. Again, if you look at Silk Road as an example, I mean, we have to definitely steer clear of that kind of scrutiny.
Yeah, I totally get that. I know on the Silk Road, didn't somebody purchase a anti-aircraft gun or something? That was
I mean, everything and anything was available there. Like, like I said, I mean, in the best interest of everything, we just have to steer clear of that. In fact, there's in some cases there's requirements when we want to, like, for example, we're in talks with a gift card provider, and there's certain requirements that come with being able to provide gift cards, and so we want to follow those requirements, and we want to kind of do the right things so that we're able to support these different services and different things. We start letting too much of the bad stuff get in, and people aren't going to want to work with us. So, but that's kind of where we're at. And then we just announced that we're going to be merging our two tokens, Fat Cake and Fate, into a single token, so that there's one token to rule the entire ecosystem. We're going to be slowly trickling out some details on how that's exactly going to work in the merge, because it's not exactly straightforward. So we're working on how exactly we're going to describe it, because the trick is both have dramatically different supplies, dramatically different prices, dramatically different liquidities. So we have to figure out a fair conversion to make sure that nobody loses.
Yeah, we know all about that because we have GRT, which is only a 16,000 token supply, and then we have CPHX, which had just ridiculous amounts. So ratio to GPHX definitely very important.
There's a lot to consider. There's definitely a lot to consider. But we've mapped everything out. We've been working on it for a while now, so it's not we've got a solid plan. We just have to be careful what information-wise what we release until the actual merge happens.
Like Hyper said, we know all too well about how that math is tough.
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, I was going to ask you in private, but I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, at some point when the contract is ready and we've started testing it, I'd like to have your guys take a look at it as well, just to kind of, because I want to have as many eyeballs on this contract as possible. I'm pretty confident in my abilities, but I'm still relatively new to blockchain. And I just want to we're going to have it audited by 3 to 4 different auditors. I want to have as many people that we trust take a look at it as possible, so that we can make sure we find any flaws and fix them.
Of course, we can definitely help you with that.
Well, and also we should probably have you get into our dev chat. Are you already in there? Maybe not.
I don't know if I'm in your dev chat or not.
Okay, and then we can. Most people in there are capable at spitballing and doing betas and or any kind of suggestions or so. But let's do that.
One thing, if you don't mind, I've got a couple of questions too, because I think that like in previous tests that we've ran on this contract, it's worked on the test net. But then when you deploy it to the main net and you add liquidity and go through all the motions, it doesn't work. That's one problem that I ran into. And my question is there's two-part, actually. One is, why doesn't the test net have some sort of way to test the liquidity and the charts and the whole other side of it? Like it's kind of you're flying half blind when you're testing on the test net. It's almost a waste of time, because you can have things completely be checked out on testnet, and then you get to the main net and it doesn't work at all. So I'm just wondering.
So K-Blaze is behind the testnet. He is just recently reworking the testnet, because I don't quote me on this. I think something is not adding up because of that fork that we had from the test from the main net. We had the fork to include gas estimation and smart math.
Though, hang on. I think we're miscommunicating a little bit. I'm talking about the Binance testnet and mainnet. My question to you guys is, because you guys have your own chain, And this might be a way for you guys to kind of distinguish yourself from other blockchains as well, in a good way. If you made your testnet more, tester friendly, so that when somebody launches a token, they could actually test the liquidity pool and test the charts and test the things that you're basically flying blind on the smart chain or on Ethereum.
Add it to the list, Hyperion. Thanks, guy.
I'm
listening.
Always watching, always listening.
Well, it just makes testing a lot harder, right? Because like in our case, the contract works just fine on the Binance testnet, but then you go to the mainnet and it doesn't work. And trying to find out why when you have it, it's a bit of a pain. It's like a missing gap that's in the current system, it seems.
That's what we're here for. We're here to pick up where other chains fall short.
Miss, yeah, exactly. And another thing I would actually include in that, while I'm giving you my wish list, is
it's almost Christmas.
Memos, right? I don't understand why the smart chain doesn't support memos. I believe it's in the spec for the EVM itself, but the smart chain doesn't support memos. You guys should support memos with your transactions for sure, if you can. I don't know how hard of an ask that is, but.
Okay, I put it in the notes to I don't know. I'll
Discuss that with our RX.
Yeah, memos. Okay.
100%.
I know it's something that there is something like how you can sign for an address without without making a transaction, but I have to look into that. And then it's probably something we have to start implementing. It might actually be there.
I think it is there. If you, it's like I said, it's part of the EVM, so it is there. It's just Binance chooses to disable it on the smart chain for whatever reason.
Yeah, we can look at it.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good idea.
I mean, these are things that I'm just curious about as I've been working on this, little gaps that I've been finding, right, that I would kind of expect would be there, that are not, Yeah. And like as far as your guys' blockchain is concerned, and NFT specifically, do you guys have any NFTs on your blockchain right now?
Yes, we have a slew of them from the airdrop bot, which were contributors from different artists and Chronic Cats and our own ducks. And then we have Duck Hunt NFTs. Then we have Chronic Cats NFTs separately, and then a couple other collections. So yeah, we do already have.
You guys should send me the contracts and maybe some test assets if you have some that I can test with, so I can. So I've already got the widget partly developed, so I could just plug in the contracts and the assets and see if it should work the same way.
Okay, I got that down as well. Taking notes again. This was the last time with 3Pay, same thing. Just taking notes. No, for sure. We want to see this succeed as well, and we're ecstatic to hear that you're working on the NFT side, the marketplace side. As everyone knows, Fire C is delayed, and that might be a longer delay than we anticipated. So when it comes, it comes. There's no concrete date.
Well, we're working on a bunch of stuff around NFTs that are going to be coming later down the pike, particularly around Authomark, like intellectual property and whatnot, and how NFTs are minted is going to dramatically change from our side. One of the problems with like OpenSea, for example, is like you're displaying the raw image directly in the marketplace, and that allows for people to either just to right-click Save As or a screenshot and get a fairly decent, if not exact, copy of the image that they're taking. Then they can turn around, they can mint that as an NFT and try to fake it off, and there's all kinds of weird things that you can do that just shouldn't be an option. And so I've got some systems that I'm working on that are going to kind of help prevent that, and using watermarks so that the image that's being displayed publicly is never the raw image. It's always a lower resolution, watermarked and embedded with your IDs, so that nobody can fake that particular NFT. And then the source file for that image for that NFT. That'll be available. That'll actually get emailed to you, and it'll also be stored on a server that you'll be able to privately access. And if you decide to post that image publicly, for example, then it's kind of on you, right? But if you hold that image private, that source file private, then the only image that'll be out there in the wild is the watermarked version with your wallet address on it and watermarked with your account. So it'll make it a little harder for people to fake that stuff.
That's awesome. I know our partner Chronic had that same issue. People were just stealing all this stuff and trying to launch like fake NFTs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's because of the way that it's being done and the fact that the internet itself is just so open-ended that you could right-click and view source, right-click save as. It's pretty free in that regard. So there's not a lot of restriction, and it makes it challenging to try and protect digital assets in that if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, and then you scale that up to anything else that you wanted to put on the blockchain, right? Even if it's not just a photo or something else. For instance, like songs or artists,
Correct.
Editions of something. Yeah.
The same principle works with any kind of digital asset, right? You'd have a lower resolution or a lower quality audio file, a lower res video file. Don't give away the source is the key, right?
Yep, that watermark feature. Yep, we've had that also in mind for FireC, and since everything is on our own IPFS, that would be something that would be easily controlled for the NFT marketplace, especially with easy mint function.
That's interesting. But again, you guys have your own IPFS. You've got a node in the IPFS.
Yes. So every node holder that contributes to our network is actually a part of our own IPFS. So we have that clustered together. Every node holder's a 2 terabyte storage. We have a little over 500 terabytes, I believe.
I actually started the first company, which is for the IPFS. We're not gonna promise too much, but in the near future we might get enough funding to start placing our own equipment in different data centers across the world, which also will include our own IPFS system, and we'll run that part through a company. So it is aligned, attached to the Phoenix blockchain, but IPFS will in the end become a competitor of Pinata or other IPFS companies.
Well, that was my next question, because obviously I'm looking at those types of systems already, and if you guys have that and we're already working with you, it makes sense that you could just extend that. I'd rather pay you guys the funds than Pinata, for example, right?
I think this is this is maybe something we discuss.
We have to discuss. I'll contact you after the show and see how we can collaborate on this.
The IPFS is a part of
another meeting going on now, so I'm kind of
I'm swamped
in
myself
between.
too, so that's quite all right. You can definitely don't have to rush on that. Just know that the IPFS it's in our infrastructure. Use of the IPFS. So if we can directly connect with that system through you guys over Pinata or the likes, it's definitely a conversation we should have, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's
Sorry, I'm like, this is different than the standard monthly show or weekly show rigmarole. But yes, this is excellent.
Yeah, we've got a lot of cool stuff coming, man, and I think there's a lot of we haven't really explored a lot of the ways that we can work together quite yet, because we're still building a lot of this stuff out. But because of the fact that everything that we're doing is EVM compatible, basically every new feature, everything that I build on my side is going to be automatically compatible with Phoenix. whether we're talking about NFT marketplaces or embeds or widgets or, because you guys are supported in our system, you're supported through all our utilities.
Do we have any? Oh, by the way, people listening, if you have any questions, you can shoot them in the chat or you can hop on right now.
So Abdullah was asking if it supports Phoenix blockchain or only via Seaside. It also we are integrated in 3Pay.
Yeah. It supports 9 chains altogether right now. So the current version actually supports Ethereum, BNB, Crow, Matic, Phoenix, AVAX, Phantom, Harmony, and Nexta, the Gnosis chain. And you can go use that right now. You don't have to wait for the new version. You can go use the beta right now and try that out. And if you don't have the network installed in your MetaMask, and you can still click on the button and it'll add the network before switching. If you have the network installed, then it'll just switch.
You have Trust Wallet integrated?
It works with any Web3 wallet, so it does work with Trust Wallet. Although some of the features are somewhat limited. Like the switch itself actually didn't work for the longest. I knew something was wrong.
Trust Wallet doesn't have. I didn't see the custom network unless that's something they added.
They don't have a custom network.
Right. Okay.
They don't, but the rest of the features do work. So the switch works if the network is there that's supported in Trust Wallet. But the MetaMask is the only one that lets you add a custom RPC.
Yep. Yeah. We should also. Well, you were on that one discussion with RYIPay. If you wanted to sync with them, they're another wallet. If you're looking for more wallets to add to your repertoire there.
What is it?
RYIPay. If you need to contact John, who's very close to us, so we can.
That's a wallet, is it?
Yeah, RYIPay.
Gotcha.
And it'll be .app if you want to just go straight to there. Yep.
I'm on their website right now. So they have a wallet that you install on the phone, and they also have a Chrome extension.
I believe they have a web browser.
It's just the phone. Oh, they have a browser. They have
they're working on a browser. And Phoenix is fully integrated on their iOS version.
They're in the Apple Store.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. When's the browser coming out?
Soon. We don't know. I'm not sure that they've given that up just yet. But I know he's working hard to also have NFT staking in the. He has a couple contracts that are NFT staking on the wallet already compatible, but he's working on other stuff in that capacity.
Interesting. I'll check to see how compatible 3Pay is with it. I mean, out of the box, as long as it's a Web3 wallet, an EVM wallet, and it has a dApp browser, then 3Pay should work just fine. But I need to confirm that.
Sure, and like I said, we'll actually bring up in Initiative. I think you're both there, so I'll bring up something there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the browser's going to be.
If people are wondering why I keep looking away, my children are literally arguing over a pack of gum. So there's that.
It was my pack of gum. I saw it first.
Yup.
No, I took it. Gilded, where are you guys located? Or if your team's sporadic. Canada?
Yeah, we're all spread out.
So I'm in Utah.
He says
Vlad's
it
in
like
Romania.
he's really proud.
I love Utah. I love it out here. No one bothers you. You get guns and stuff. Like, I love it out here.
Yeah, majority of our team are from America. Gilded's from Canada. Myself and Vlad are from Europe. He's from Romania. I'm from United Kingdom.
Okay, cool. So spread out just like us.
So majority of the team is in America. That is only Nomad, basically.
I think I'm the only American.
No, Nomad from Utah.
No. Mike's from Nevada, Arizona. So.
Oh, that's true as well. Yeah, and we have one from Brazil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Right.
sorry. One's in Brazil. Where did
Was there
we
some
meet?
kind of How? Not why.
Oh, how did we meet? We just met in the token, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all kind of met through the token. I don't know about everyone else's story, but I think a majority of us kind of started out as just investors, but then we saw the potential of the project, and we were like, "Yo, I want to add my value to what we're building here to make something, as best as we can." And that's kind of how we all got on board. And the team, of course, like any project, fluctuates with new people coming in, new people going out, and then eventually our core team is kind of settled to where it is today.
Yeah, I mean, all of us have basically been there from the get-go. So that's good.
Yeah.
So it started as the token, and then it grew into 3Pay and other ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, and I think, everything, unless it's like a huge company, VC, coming out with major tokenomics, major roadmap, but these smaller DeFi projects, what you usually find is it's always starts out as just a token. And then everyone has these grandiose ideas of, we're going to develop a game and we're going to become a blockchain and, blah, blah, blah. And usually, 8 times out of 10, it fails, token dies, and people move on to the next token. But the 2 times out of 10, what usually happens is people rally around the community, the dev team, and everything to where it evolves into something much more than a token, which is what Fate ecosystem or Fate has kind of become.
And just to add to that, if you look at renounced contracts, like, when Safe Moon was about, it was all about community, and the community was actually driving the token. Some community members would be, pushing it a lot, harder and be more active. Those are the ones more than likely have got like core channels and good networking going on. I think we are the same, more or less, but we've actually Nomad just said, we've gelled together. We're pretty settled. We all get on. We all have different skill sets, and we work together well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only caveat for that is when Astro starts talking about soccer. So.
And then American football. Yeah, right.
I will blow with bubbles, pretty bubbles everywhere. Get out of here, Astro, with your...
Yeah, London's red, not claret or what you want to call it, purple.
Shut your mouth.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've actually
versus
Gilded
football.
Out.
It's a day in a life of the Fate team, right there.
I got a quick question while Gilded's sorting that out. Nomad, who's top of the league?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what.
I'm pretty sure it's my team.
I don't. Who is your team again? What's that?
The one and only Arsenal.
Oh, shut up. My team. Here's the thing. My team can still, off the field, kick your team's ass. So, regardless of what happens on the pitch, that's one thing. That's one aspect.
You're thugs.
Yeah. That's why I like
them. Not footballers, you're thugs. Fits right in your Utah image.
I know. That's why I like them. You might win points-wise, but who's got a higher body count?
What do you say you're from Utah? Utah is actually, if I was to move states, Utah is actually the place I've looked at.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Property and land is cheap. It really depends on what kind of person you are. Like, what do you like to do? Because, like, if you're a city person, yeah, we got Salt Lake. It's not like L.A. or New York or, anywhere on the East Coast. But, like, we got We got some of the best skiing on the planet. We got great mountains, lakes, camping, stuff like that. So if that's what you're about, man, Utah's the spot.
I've got Gilded knows this because he was there during the other Curse podcast. So I've got that libertarian streak, and I think that so I kind of line up a bit with what's going on over there. I don't know.
With what's going on over where?
In Utah. So I think that Utah has the most third-party representation. I might be wrong, but as far as LP, they actually get governance and stuff like that.
Okay. Canada, we have 4 parties. 2 are dominant. The third one kind of lingers in the back, having to make deals with whichever party's in power, basically. Right? It's the whole left-right thing is really getting tired.
Oh yeah, overblown.
It really is. It's just things are so polarized and like adversarial. Like nothing gets done.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem all over the world. I think not just in the U.S. and Canada. It's literally happening everywhere.
My relatives are in Poland, and that seems to be another place that is starting to happen a lot more. So,
I honestly prefer. So we have two third parties that are both. They tend to wind up in like the single digit percentages, but I prefer both of them in their complete opposite. I prefer both of them. At least they're interesting to.
But
to compare.
They have no power whatsoever. Zero. They have nothing. Every single time those third parties come in, they end up just aligning with what's closest. Libertarian being Republican, Socialist, Green Party being Democrat. There's never like. Yikes.
It's because you can't get to a position of power without cutting deals. There's no way you can become a leader of a party or a leader of a country without corrupting yourself, because you can go in there with the purest intentions. But in order for you to get to the position to make those decisions, you got to shake so many hands and make so many promises that by the time you get there, any agenda that you had or any personal ideals that you had, they're gone. They're long gone. And you're so twisted because you have to promise this guy, you promise this guy, you promise this guy. So it's incredibly hard to get into a position of power, whether you're a third party, a second, or anybody, if you don't make deals with, a segment of the population and start favoring. I mean, essentially, yeah. I mean, you're giving up your own values and your own principles so that you can get the votes that you need to get elected or to get the support that you need. And that, by definition, is being corrupt.
How did this get back to devil's lettuce?
I don't think I would mind that much if they were open. Like if someone said, "Hey, I'm Billy. I'm running for president. I'm sponsored by Nabisco and Ford Motor Companies." Okay, well, I'm all right with those companies. They're good companies. Cool.
Right. Yeah, I mean, being transparent about it would certainly help. I mean, that's one thing that all politicians kind of lack. So that would certainly help. I don't know if it would solve the problem though. Because really, for people, for a lot of the things that we want to get fixed, there's got to be political willpower to make those things happen, and there's never political willpower to make things, to fix these things. It's just like I don't know how bad or poor. I know that the American infrastructure is in dire straits. I've heard and read lots about it. I don't know the details of it, but I know the same is true in Canada. Now I know in Canada, when you fill up at the pump, there's a certain, the taxes you pay on fuel are supposed to keep maintaining the roads. That does not happen.
Nope.
Right? So
similar.
Yeah.
In Michigan, we have a really bad infrastructure problems. Obviously, they straight up, like something out of a cartoon. they hung a giant hammock beneath a bridge because as it deteriorates, chunks of concrete tend to fall from the bridge.
Yeah.
So they just straight up said, "Oh, we're not going to fix the bridge. Here's a hammock to catch the concrete as it falls off."
Yeah. So I mean, it'd be one thing if the government was making all these arguments that they're making about regulation and tracking your money that you're spending and all these things. If they were adhering to their own responsibilities, if they're fixing the things that they're supposed to be fixing, if they're spending the money correctly, but they're not. They're vastly abusing the money, using it for personal interest, basically. And then trying to put the, like in the States where they passed that law where they can track, you spend $600 and they're tracking your $600. But yet Nancy Pelosi can insider trade all day long, no problem.
Yay!
I mean,
and it's public. It's public. They'll do it. They'll just do it. They'll shake hands. It's fine.
Oh yeah, it's in your face. It's fucking laughable, man. It's a joke.
Yeah, I mean that's the same joke about Social Security. They keep threatening that there's no money in there, but there was money. They took it. They borrowed it to use it for infrastructure, whatever that they claimed, and they just can't return it.
Well, either that or they
So
put
now
it on the
there's
stock market because a lot of pensions are
Right.
tied to stocks, right? And when the stock market goes down, those pensions are gone, right? That's your taxes that you've been paying into.
Yep. Thanks for hanging that money that I was giving you, hanging it over my head like, oh, you won't get this back.
Mm-hmm.
They literally rugged it.
Rugged
in a very real sense. They rugged Social Security.
But we do have the most money being spent on military, more than the next 4 or 5 countries below us. So
now, that's the one thing that I don't agree with the conservative. There's a few things, but when I argue about it with my parents whenever I see them, because it's like we already worst case scenario, we decided we want to kill every person on the planet. We've done it. We got enough. Once you've got enough to kill every human, I think you're set. I think we're saying, all right, we're good. It's done. You're
because now we have a space force.
They shouldn't have called it Space Force, right? Can we?
They should have. It's wonderful.
I'm a scientist. I really like the idea of funding space exploration just because of my background and stuff. But don't call it Space Force. What are you doing? Their insignia even looks like the Star Trek logo.
That's the thing. You are crazy. That's such a sick name.
It sounds like if anyone watched Dragon Ball Z when they were younger, they had the Ginyu Force, Space Force.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. All right, here's the thing. If you're doing something stupid, right? And you're doing something stupid and they're like, "Oh, the Marines are coming after you. We don't care about no stupid Marines." Oh man, NATO's like, SOCOM 6 is coming after you. We don't care. We're ready. Bro, they're sending Space Force after you. Oh shit. We done messed up. That's
you got satellite lasers coming at us.
Yeah, you don't know. You have no idea what's coming.
Since we're talking about this for some reason, are you guys aware of the Rods from Gods thing?
No.
I think so. It's like a projectile or something that they whip from.
Yeah. So basically, you can take a tungsten rod, and there's no projection. There's no ICBMs take about 45 minutes to get to because of they have to see where they're going.
Space, right?
You just drop it. You don't need a nuclear payload because the force and it's not a giant thing either. It's like a 20-foot long tungsten beam. The impact of it slamming into the planet because it goes faster than the speed of light because of the way terminal velocity works. So just it slamming into the ground will basically level a city with no nuclear fallout.
Awesome, America.
You hear that, Putin? You hear that, Putin? We don't need nuclear.
I have a theory that the Coast Guard invented Space Force because they were sick of being the least respected branch of service.
I can
Ooh, shots fired.
I can get with that.
Well, to be honest, we actually do need Space Force because when those giant ants and beetles start, we're all fucked.
Well, I don't know if you guys have ever seen. There's a video of the sun, and there's these black spheres that were like feeding off of the sun, and then they take off. Have you guys ever seen that before?
No,
Man.
I think you should share that in Maine.
I'm going to share that. I will.
In Maine.
I will. Yeah.
Space Force versus Starship Troopers.
Space Force is already too late. It's just spheres taking from the sun. Oh, okay, cool. It's like if anyone ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the very beginning. Well, we put the memo in your local station. It's been there for eons. You guys just didn't pay attention. Oh, okay.
I love Hitchhiker's Guide. Oh my gosh, that was so funny because obviously the parallel. He's getting his house demolished for the bypass, and then the planet's getting demolished also for intergalactic bypass. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it's wonderful. The beginning is just a hoot, and the dolphins leaving. Thanks for all the fish later.
The movie is not as good as the book, but if you're not going to read the book, then the movie, I would still have a go.
Give that a watch and see what you think of that.
So you're sending these Vorpal sun killers. Black spheres need sun. Huh.
Now, when this happened, I mean, I've known about this since it's 2012. It did happen a long time ago. But when this happened, I mean, this is like a huge question for me. I've always asked, like, what the fuck is this? If you think about the context of a bee pollinating flowers, that was my first thought when I saw this. Right? Whatever these things are, they're pulling something from the sun, and then they just eject from it, and they leave a wake on the surface of the sun.
I was going to say, who's been giving Gilded some of that weed?
This is, I mean, if this is real, that's pretty insane.
It's pretty wild, right? Yeah.
That is so wild. That's like an energy, just like you said, energy siphon happening. A refueling before you continue.
Correct.
Yes, our very scarce star that there's only one of in the whole universe. That's the one they go to.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, the star, like if you think of stars in the context of flowers, bees pollinate from, they go from flower to flower. It's, I think it's, it's pretty relatable in that respect. I don't, who knows what the hell it is. I just find it really interesting, and I don't think they have enough coverage.
My take on it is always, it's incredibly naive to think that we're alone in the universe.
Oh, 100%. We're not.
But it's also incredibly naive to think that we are within any travelable distance, to each other.
I think it's naive to assume anything, really, about the universe. Like, we just don't know anything. We think we're so smart, but we don't know nothing.
Yeah, actually, the three body problem has a wonderful way of explaining what could have happened and the Dark Forest theory. And oh man, gives me goosebumps. The dialogue not so great. Storytelling is okay, but the concepts in those books, oh my goodness. I'm a big sci-fi buff. I don't know if I've said that.
Yeah, me too. I'm big into physics myself.
Yeah. Did you ever? So wait, have you ever went into Greg Egan?
Greg Egan.
Greg Egan Diaspora. It will blow you away how insane. He's not a real person. There's just no way. It's just he can describe creation, and that's just like the intro to the story. It just doesn't make any. I don't. He must be a supercomputer that just
Australian scientist born in 1961.
No. Let me find it for you.
There's a quote out there. It's something like, there's two really scary possibilities. The first is that we're not alone in the universe, And the second is that we are.
Yeah. And then there's the third that we are and aren't because we just don't understand it.
I mean, there's also the running theory is that we're a hologram. Like, I mean, that's what a lot of scientists are starting to come to the conclusion of. I'm not on that side. I definitely don't think we're a hologram. I'm not sure what we are, but we're definitely not a hologram.
Simulation theory?
Well, we're more than light, right? If we're talking about holograms, a hologram is light. We're definitely more than light. There's more going on to life than just light bouncing off of energy or whatever, right? There's definitely more there than just light.
Yeah, sorry guys. I've been away for like 2 minutes, and now you guys are having an existential crisis. Like, man, this podcast is first.
There's so much weed.
That's why we need you here. You're not supposed to leave for 2 minutes.
We skipped the weed. We went to LSD because Spaz can't have weed.
Yeah, by the way, free pay is working now.
Hey!
Yay, we did it.
Oh.
Whoever was trying to stop 3Pay from working was like, these guys gotta stop talking about this. I mean, I'm done hacking you guys, or I'm done blocking you guys.
It was the Michigan government. They heard that I said I wanted to move to Utah. They shut it down.
No.
Oh, geez, yeah.
I don't know. We didn't discuss timeline, end of the year, you said, or something?
Yeah, so we're going to have the new version of 3Pay will be up by the end of the year. And that's when you'll start to see the NFT support. But I have that stuff working on the dev server now. So I've got it working with a different project, but I do have it working. So theoretically speaking, I should be able to just plug your contracts in with some assets, and it should be rock and roll. And actually, it detects the number. It detects the assets. So you only have to put the contract in. It'll go ahead and detect your balance and then calculate and figure out what your assets are from there. So unlike MetaMask, where you have to actually add the contract and the asset ID, for when I don't know reasons I don't know, you only have to add the contract address to 3Pay.
Yeah, MetaMask just did an update. I think it started to just automatically populate that in your wallet. I think I saw something like that.
Right.
It did used to ask contract and then ID number as well.
Right.
So for future reference, let's say we move. It's already the marketplace is already there. Do they then reach out to your team to get their new contract on, or?
That's a good question. We'll have to figure out exactly how that looks.
So like a listing request or something, maybe, or
yeah. The other thing too is when it comes to the marketplace for buying and selling NFTs, one thing we're going to try and do is, because it's EVM and you have the same address across wallets, I'm going to try and set it up so that you can pay in any currency to purchase that NFT.
Oh,
right.
So okay.
I don't want to call it a bridge because it's not, right?
No, right.
I mean, basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be, I'm going to have a combination of a smart contract and a bot, which are going to be working together, interacting with the database. And that's going to allow for us to have the bot do things and interact with the contract so that it can act as the escrow, right? So if somebody's buying an NFT, the bot can easily switch chains, right? The contract, you would need a contract on every single chain. But the bot, it can just bounce between chains, right? Without needing a smart contract. So literally, what would happen? Router. Yeah. So you'd be sending the NFT would get sent to the wallet, right? And the wallet would then airdrop the NFT to the end buyer, right? And drop the money to the end to the seller at the same time.
So then, does that mean that as an individual user, you can say, "Hey, my preference is to receive either BTC, Ethereum, whatever it is"?
Correct. Or you could leave it open ended and just get whatever.
Yeah. No. Wow.
That would be
At that
huge
value.
for
it'd be,
onboarding.
it'd be
That
value
is-
based, right? So you'd be whatever value converted to whatever currency you're switching the value to. Or you could specify, I only want to take Phoenix, or I only want to take BNB, I only want to take ETH, or I'll take any of the non-supported chains. It's up to yourself.
Wow. Okay. That's that's huge. Yeah. Okay. Well, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
A lot
I mean,
to discuss.
I'm definitely curious to see what you guys got over there as far as the NFTs. We'll get that stuff working and see what we can't do to. Because hopefully, I mean, my hope is with the widgets, with the NFT widgets, is that there's going to be some differentiating factor between the NFT collections and different utilities, hopefully. So each widget would be, slightly different based on the use case that it's used for, and they might have different features in the widget. Some of them might be more generic and just be the NFTs themselves, but in some cases there might be other use cases, right? That you can build into the widget and make it more functional.
Absolutely. I think we should connect Chronic with you as well, Chronic Cats, because he has
Definitely.
a collection deployed on Ethereum and Phoenix, and that's one of the Chronic Cats I'll be sending you.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he'd be interested in testing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely be interested in working with them. We're looking for some quality NFT projects to work with on this.
Okay.
We don't want to just have any. We're not just going to support every NFT project. So we're being selective, but we want quality projects. So if you've got some quality projects, we'd absolutely be interested in them.
Okay, great. Man, all right, I got many things that we have to IPFS, all this other stuff. In that group that we have together, could you send me your wallet address so I can the one that you're working with that you want the assets. I don't know. Do you want to say anything else?
I don't have anything else offhand.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We will see you again next week for episode 26 of our weekly broadcast. Wishing every member of the family a fantastic week, and we'll see you in chat. Awesome.
Thanks,
I'm
guys.
going to lay
Thanks,
you
guys.
down.